Hey guys, it's Sarah Seidelman and I'm your friendly neighborhood pathologist turned shamanic healer, and I just wanted to share a story that sometimes I share with clients because I have found it to be so helpful in my life. And maybe you've heard it before, maybe you haven't, but in any case, I'll share it with you. This was told to me in the middle of the night during a particularly challenging shamanic ceremony, and as I said, it pops into my head often and helps me to regain a sense of balance in my life. So anyway, the story goes like this. It's set in medieval Europe. It's a very old story. And there's this man, and he lives on a farm with his wife and his son. And one day, or one night, I guess it was, the fence that held all his horses, there was a hole in the fence. And apparently all of his horses escaped. And all the villagers heard about this, and they came running to his farm and knocked on the door, and they were like, oh my gosh, you've lost all your horses. What are you gonna do? This is terrible news. I mean, as a farmer, you need these horses, to plow your field. And the man said, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. Only time will tell. And so the villagers were just like, wow, this guy's, I don't know about him. They went back into their homes, and several more months passed, and after some time passed, and one night, because of this hole in the fence, overnight 5 wild horses ran into this guy's pasture, and in the morning he was able to quick repair the fence, and voila, he had 5 horses. Well, the village heard about this, and they came running over to his house, and they were like, oh my gosh, talk about spectacular luck. This is incredible. You have these 5 horses for free. Now you have not just the 3 horses you used to have, now you have 5, more than anybody else in the village has. Wow. And he looked at them and he said, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. Only time will tell. And the villagers were like, wow, this guy, he is not really very excited about this, and so they left. And a few weeks later, his son, while he was trying to tame these wild horses or gentle them, ended up breaking his leg. And the people were like, oh my gosh, the villagers ran over because they knew that his wife was not well, and now the son had broken his leg. What was this guy gonna do? He had a whole farm to run and a whole fields to plow and so forth. And they were like, oh my gosh, your kid broke his leg. What are you gonna do? This is terrible. And the man came out and he said, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. Only time will tell. And they were like, okay, all right. So they all went back to their village. And the next day, in that sort of area of the kingdom, the king had sent out a proclamation that all young men would be drafted. And so anybody above the age of 18 would be drafted to go fight a war that the king was waging against another country. And of course, this man's son did not have to go because he had broken his leg. And the story is so magnificent because it helps us to realize that we really don't know what any particular set of circumstances that are coming our way are gonna do for us, whether they'll be good or whether they'll be bad. And I just read this amazing quote from Carlos Castaneda that said the difference between a warrior and an ordinary woman, I say woman, could be ordinary man, a warrior and an ordinary woman, is that the warrior takes everything as a challenge. And the ordinary woman sees everything as a blessing or a curse. And I thought that was really profound because I've certainly spent a lot of my lifetime trying to decide, what's happening in my life, the circumstances in my life, whether they're a blessing or a curse, or determining that they are a curse or a blessing. So what if we instead looked at everything as a challenge and faced our lives with the the beautiful mantra, I'm willing to face this challenge. Anyway, I hope this story is something that I hope it gives you some sort of insight, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.